go to 9's Ross Greenwood now, who joins me in the studio now. Ross, you've been keeping across developments on Twitter. You've got some breaking news.
Yeah, well, I have. Just only a few minutes ago, the storm has actually made landfall, and it's done so near Atlantic City, south of New York. Now, you saw Denham Hitchcock there, of course, down in the financial district of New York City. 8 million people across New York. What's occurred there is Battery Park, very close to where he is now completely underwater. It's the highest level that the water has ever been there, sitting at about 3.8 metres. And as he indicated and showed us, the water now getting into the subway system, in other words, the metropolitan system. Now, the whole point about it right now is some of the other statistics. 3.1 million people across the United States are without electricity. And as Robert Penfold indicates, it's going to be potentially a long time before those people do get the power back on. But there's also another situation that really you've got the damage bill. Even now, the first estimates coming in of between $10 and $20 billion. Remembering, of course, that the damage after Hurricane Katrina went through and demolished New Orleans was close to $100 billion. But as I say, it's still early days, and only now in the last few minutes has this hurricane, now downgraded to a tropical storm, hit landfall. So we'll probably see the worst of the damage from now. Yeah,
we sure will. Ross, thank you. We'll come back to you very shortly. But we're going to have a bit of a closer look now at this weather system with Foxtel's Weather Channel senior meteorologist Tom Saunders. Tom, good morning to you. It sounds like the storm has lost a little bit of its punch.
Good morning. Just need to clarify, it actually has not been downgraded. It's just that the central part of the system is now turning into a cold chord system rather than a warm chord system. That's the reason it's no longer being called a hurricane. But the sustained winds near the eye are still 130 kilometres per hour, which are just as strong as what you would have during a hurricane. So it's just as dangerous. And if this system was in Australia, we'd be calling it a severe Category 3 tropical cyclone. So it's not actually a downgrade, and they're still seeing severe weather right through that area. In fact, just recently, we've had gusts over 150 kilometres per hour on Long Island.
Tom, we've been hearing reports of snowfall even in some areas.
Yeah, the reason that Sandy was able to maintain its intensity that far north out of the tropics was because it collided with a cold front moving south from Canada. And it's quite remarkable, really. It hit the coast at 39 degrees north, which is equivalent to about Melbourne. So it'd be like a tropical cyclone hitting Melbourne. And we're looking at up to 3 feet of snow for the western Virginian mountains.
Tom, we heard some residents in New York this morning say they simply weren't expecting a storm like this at this time of year. How rare is a weather event such as this now?
Well, it is the hurricane season. It is towards the tail end of it, but we're still in the hurricane season, so it's not the time of year that's unusual, but it's the system on the whole that's unusual for two reasons. One thing, it's a very large system. The diameter of gale force winds is about 1,500 kilometres across, and that's about double the size of Tropical Cyclone Yasi, which hit the Queensland coast 2 years ago. It's also unusual because of how far north it has moved outside of the tropics.
All right, Tom Saunders, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for your update.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.